Now, as we know, the ankle and foot are composed of multiple joints. We need to consider the mobility of these joints as well as the multi-joint muscles which are crossing these joints when we want to increase range of motion of ankle and foot. Firstly, if we want to increase dorsiflexion of ankle with knee in extended position, which means we are stretching gastrocnemius, a two joint muscle. Hand has have to be placed at the patient's heel while holding the calcaneus with one hand and maintaining the subtalar joint in neutral position. We have to place our forearm across the plantar surface of the foot. We will stabilize the anterior aspect of tibia with another hand. Then dorsiflexion is done at the talocrural joint of ankle by pulling the calcaneus in the inferior direction with the help of thumb and fingers while simultaneously applying gentle pressure in superior direction just proximal to the heads of the metatarsal with forearm. Now if we want to do the same procedure with knee in flexion, we know the knee has to be flexed if we want to eliminate the effect of gastrocnemius muscle and just stretch soleus, which is one joint muscle. Hand placement, stabilization and stretch force are going to be the same as mentioned in the procedure for stretching the gastrocnemius. We just have to flex the knee and perform same procedure. During both the procedures, we have to keep in mind that we should not give too much pressure against the heads of metatarsal and lead to stretching of long arch of foot. This overstretching of long arch of foot can lead to flat foot or a rocker bottom foot. Now to increase plantar flexion of the ankle and stretch dorsiflexor muscles of ankle joint, the patient will be in either supine or high sitting position. We have to support the posterior aspect of distal tibia with one hand and grasp the foot along the tarsal and metatarsal areas. We will apply the stretch force to the anterior aspect of the foot and plantar flex the foot as much as possible to stretch the dorsiflexor muscles. In similar hand placement in position, we can increase inversion and eversion of the ankle at subtalar joint. We will stabilize the talus by grasping just distal to the malleoli with one hand and grasp the calcaneus with other hand while moving it medially and laterally at subtalar joint. As we know, inversion and eversion occurs as a component of pronation and supination at subtalar joint. Now if we want to stretch specific muscles of the ankle and foot, we need to stabilize the distal tibia with proximal hand and grasp around the foot with other hand. We have to align the motion and force opposite to the line of pull of the tendon which we want to stretch. The stretch force is applied against the bone to which the muscle is attached distally. We are stabilizing proximally and we are stretching distally. To stretch tibialis anterior, we know its action is inversion and dorsiflexion at the ankle joint. So we have to perform eversion and plantar flexion, so that we will have to grasp dorsal aspect of the foot across the tarsals or metatarsals and plantar flex and abduct the foot. To similarly, to stretch, the tibial is posterior, which is having action of plantar flexion and inversion of foot. We will grasp the plantar surface of the foot around the tarsals and metatarsals and perform dorsiflexion and abduction of the foot. To stretch peroneal, which everts the foot, we will grasp the lateral aspect of the foot at the tarsals and metatarsals and invert the foot. For increasing flexion and extension of the toes, we will grasp with one hand the bones which are proximal to the restricted joint, and with other hand we will move the phalanx in desired direction. This means we will have to perform stretching of any musculature individually according to the toes which are affected. These are images for self-stretching of ankle and foot muscles. In first image, the person is using wedge in standing position for self-stretching of ankle, majorly stretching gastrocnemius muscle. And in second image, gastrocnemius is stretched using a towel. If the person is pulling it straight in dorsiflexion or towards himself, only gastrocnemius is stretched. While performing it with pressure applied either in medial side or on the lateral side, will add stretching of the inverters and everters so that we can perform combined stretching of plantar flexors and the inverters or everters. So that completes our stretching for peripheral joints. In next lecture, we will continue with the stretching techniques for cervical, thoracic and lumbar spine joints. Thank you. I hope you will keep practicing and making your skills sharp. Thank you. Have a good day.